What do you say we talk about the van today? This is my 1993 GMC Safari, and this is right after I purchased it back in March of 2022. Just look how young and carefree I was. The Safari is an all-wheel drive van that inspired the infamous Chevy Astro van. While they may look nearly identical, this is a GMC, so it's better. The previous owner had already lifted it and added larger tires, which saved me a little chunk since I had intended to do just that in order to prepare the van for Idaho's back roads, which are notoriously uneven and rugged. For the first 3 months or so, I was really gung-ho with my conversion efforts. I had a stable income and a burning desire to make a mobile studio for my YouTube videos. After removing the seating, which was relatively easy, I tore out the carpet. It was soaked through and so nasty I decided it wasn't worth saving. I mean, this wasn't getting deconverted after all. You may wonder why I decided to insulate, especially when there are so many windows. Sound is the main answer, and there is a little bit of temperature stability as well. Because I was going to be recording videos and potentially voiceovers or podcasts out of my van, I really wanted to put some sound control on the walls and ceiling and floor. My primary insulation choice was wool. Wool has great insulating properties as well as being water resistant and fire retardant, perfect for a vehicle. The less flammable, the better, I think. For the floor, I just went with that silver mylar stuff, just to keep it as slim as possible, especially since I was going to be building things on top of it. My initial planning stage required that I put in a nice, stable floor to bolt aluminum framing to. I decided to make all the fixtures and framing out of extruded aluminum. And I actually modeled the entire frame in some free CAD software beforehand just to get all the measurements right before purchasing, cutting, and dry fitting. The frame worked out exactly as I had planned, which was exciting. And things were looking super promising. Then came the winter, where most progress stalled. I wasn't sure what to do about the sidewalls or ceiling once it was insulated, and the floor wasn't really working for me. I made it out of very thin, 1/4-inch plywood, and so it flexed a lot. And despite my best efforts, nothing was really working out. And then 2023. I lost my job, so excess income dried up immediately, and I had to halt conversion. I was fortunate enough to test out camping in the van a few times throughout the summer, and I loved it. So I knew it would be worth continuing, but it would take more time and more funding. So here we are, April 2024, more than 2 years after purchasing the van, and back to the gutting stage. Honestly, the floor needed redoing, and the rest of the ceiling needed removing. I had a little bit of a flood in there, and the floor just didn't last. So, with this newfound ambition to finish the project and finally turn my GMC Safari into that mobile base camp that I needed, we're jumping back into the van conversion. So there we go. Fully removed the ceiling, fully removed the floor that I put in, and now it's going to be time to basically make it nicer, make it work. There's just too much water that gathered. There's too many issues I was running into as far as sticking things on the floor. I have to go with something more stable. So while it will be more expensive, I think it will look better and it will last longer, and that's what I'm more interested in right now. In addition to building out an actual living space, I knew I was going to need a few things to make the van feel more homey, starting with power.
One of the centerpieces of the van is this right here. This is the EcoFlow Delta Max 1600. It's probably one of the most expensive things I've bought for the van, besides the van itself. Now, this video is not sponsored. This channel is not sponsored by EcoFlow. I just did some research, looked around, and I really liked everything that I was reading about this brand. Anyway, so we're gonna open this up because I gotta check the dimensions. I gotta see where the plugs are to see how to configure everything else, since it's such an important part of having power. Should power the van for like a week. So in addition to the battery bank, as a deal, it came with the solar panel. Oh, that is some weight behind it. So this is exactly why I wanted to pull this out first. All of our plugs on this side and on this side. And on this side. Theoretically, I'm going to have to access this side, and this side.
So this is the only side that can sit against a wall. It's okay. It's worth it to have power. It's a windy day. Just finished a little bit of spray paint. I gotta wait for the fumes to dissipate for a bit. It's getting close to the evening. It's about 8 o'clock at night. I'm gonna have to go home soon, but you know, I wanna let the smells waft out of here as much as possible before I make the drive home. I apologize if there's terrible wind noise. I don't know if you can see, it's a blustery day and I'm outside, so it's just the way things are. Anyway, I wanted to show you a piece of gear that I bought for the van in preparation for building out a container that I can put in there and call my van kit. It'll just be like a general camping / survival / emergency kit. Have a few things in there just in case I want to just jump in the van and not have to worry about bringing too much stuff. I'll have it all in there that I need. Up until very recently, I haven't invested too much into camp cooking. You know, I have some pots and pans and stuff like that. Not very many utensils, but I've focused a lot of efforts on more of the traditional survival bushcraft gear, knives and backpacks and tools and stuff. But what I do have is a grill that I bought years and years and years ago, back when Joe Robinette was using this type of grill really often for his videos. The downside to it is it requires being propped up using either some big stones or a couple logs. The surface is pretty small. So I bought this grill, which is a very cheap Coghlan, you know, type of grill that you can fold it and put it out there. And I've cooked some chicken and boiled some water and made some food on this, and very handy to have. But again, surface area is kind of small. You need a full campfire situation. And we often get fire bans in Idaho because it's a very dry state. And I wanted something a little bit larger and a little more functional. And it just so happened that one of my affiliates, that would be Bigfoot Bushcraft, just launched a solo and multi-person flat pack grill. And I've been eyeballing these for a while, but I never really took the plunge because, you know, they're kind of expensive. But the one coming from Bigfoot Bushcraft, it was not bad in price at all. So I bought it when it was on sale. I paid full price for it, even though I'm an affiliate of theirs. I did not ask for it for free. I wanted to buy it myself so I could try it out and give you guys give some honest feedback. I will have a link in the description below to purchase this. Currently it's on sale at the time of filming this. So I wanted to make sure to get that out to you. Again, it's an affiliate link. I get a small percentage back for posting it, but it's really not very much. So both of us benefit basically by purchasing. So I'm pretty excited to try this out. This way I can have a self-contained campfire in the little reservoir. It has a grill. It's got its own stable stand. So in this way, even if there's a fire ban, I can still cook food. I can leave this in my van kit. It's all contained within a bag and keeps everything nice and clean. So this is very exciting, and I'm gonna be adding it to my small and growing van kit. Nice little canvas bag this comes in. Some instructions. Place this. And the cool thing is, depending on how hot you want your grill to be, you've got different heights. Very excited about this stove. As you can see, it folds out, it works really nicely. Everything is contained perfectly inside of a bag. And I think it's gonna work great as part of my van kit. The real benefit, I've got my ashtray to catch anything that could fall through. There's also the little grate at the bottom that's gonna keep my coals elevated. And yeah, I think because it's small, contained, things will cook really nicely. I'll have a much larger surface area. And this way I can keep having fires and keep campfires going, even if we have campfire bans. As long as they're contained, usually it's pretty safe. So this will make it so that I can keep having those even when we have fire bans across the state. If you have any comments or suggestions or any thoughts as far as the van build, definitely leave them down below. I'd love to have a conversation about everything that we're working on. I'm very excited to be bringing fresh content to you. So look forward to next week. We'll have another video. Thanks again. I'll see you next time. Take care.